Namaste, and welcome to this applied Jainism presentation entitled Pronunciation Practice of the Jain Term for Non-Harming. For Jainism, non-harming refers primarily to non-injuring one's own self. That is, refraining from behavior which inhibits the soul's ability to attain liberation. In accordance with this, non-harming means non-violence, non-injury, and absence of desire to harm any life forms. In addition, Jainism views non-harming as a quality of the soul. Thus, refraining from harming is the natural expression of one's soul. The Jain term for non-harming is Ahinsa. The term is derived from the scholarly language of Sanskrit, which is an ancient language of India, the birthplace of this important understanding. Welcome. My name is Balabhadra. Before starting, I think it will be helpful to state 4 reasons for doing this video and why this video may be helpful for you. Jainism explains non-harming is a quality of soul. There is power in the precise pronunciation of the term. Precise pronunciation helps the process of experiencing soul, and there is a need to address a popular mispronunciation of the term. Before starting, I need to say that I am not a Sanskrit scholar or a native speaker from India, and I am aware that my pronunciation is not absolutely precise. However, my knowledge is sufficient to interpret and explain the Devanagari script and move toward a more precise pronunciation. My understanding of the Jain insight into the non-harming nature of soul is accurate, in that it was the subject of my PhD dissertation. A bit more about this intriguing language of Sanskrit. Sanskrit can be termed as a language of scriptures and religious texts. It prevailed as far back as the beginning years of civilized Indian society. It has been described as words of power that are subtly attuned to the unseen harmonies of the matrix of the cosmos. Sir William Jones described Sanskrit as the language of Sanskrit is a wonderful structure, more perfect than Greek, more copious than Latin, and more exquisitely refined than either. The procedure to get Sanskrit writing into English is called transliteration. Transliteration consists in representing the characters of a given script by the characters of another, while keeping the operation reversible. The use of diacritics or digraphs solves the problem of different number of characters between the alphabets of the 2 writing systems. Before continuing, there are 2 related questions. 1, why am I presenting all this detail about non-harming? And 2, why is the information presented in this video important for you? And the answers? Answer 1, the existence of eternal, independent, so-called divine soul. And 2, the soul's non-harming nature. How are they related? In order to experience one's divine soul, the practice of the soul's non-harming nature is essential, thus compulsory. And 2, precise pronunciation of the Sanskrit term enhances one's non-harming practice and one's well-being. Now let's begin and explain the mispronunciation problem. Here again is the term for non-harming in its original Sanskrit, along with its transliteration, and it is pronounced Ahinsa. The problem of mispronunciation is shown here. The Sanskrit is the same, but the original transliteration has changed into the inaccurate popular pronunciation as shown here. The transliteration is not accurate, and as a consequence, the mispronunciation occurs. This term is pronounced Ahimsa. Now let us do the transliteration of this sacred term to confirm the precise pronunciation. To do the transliteration, the Devanagari script is used, as it is the foundation of Sanskrit. Like English, this script is divided into vowels and consonants. A vowel has an alternate marker known as a matra when included with a consonant, as shown here. Note this special character, this dot, which represents the nasalization of a vowel. I've put a link to the YouTube video in the description that explains this character. Here are the basic characters which essentially make up the term Ahinsa. But keep in mind, alternate matra characters are a part of this term. Now the transliteration. For our examination, the Sanskrit term Ahinsa can be divided into 3 sound segments. Ahinsa. The individual sounds that structure the term Ahinsa are A, H, E, N, S, A. Ahinsa. The next 2 images help to explain how the mispronunciation occurred, and also shows the complexity of Sanskrit. This image shows the mispronunciation, and yet the IAST transliteration is shown as such. Note the dot under the M indicating nasalization, and the bar over the A indicating a long sound. The explanation is meaningful to read as it provides additional insightful understanding. Ahinsa is a term meaning not to injure and compassion. The word is derived from the Sanskrit root hins, to strike. Hinsa is injury or harm. Ahinsa is the opposite of this, that is, cause no injury, do no harm. Ahinsa is also referred to as nonviolence, and it applies to all living beings, including all animals. This image shows the complexity of Sanskrit, and perhaps the difficulty of precise transliteration. For example, note this term. It means blessingful. And note the 2 nasalization dots, both above a particular script. And yet this Sanskrit term is transliterated with the first dot as nasalized N and the second as nasalized M, as shown here. The term is pronounced Mangalam, Mangalam. The nasalization markers for the term Mangalam leave us with some pronunciation uncertainty, and the Jain scriptures also show varying transliterations. Thus, the conclusion for the pronunciation of Ahinsa will be left to our personal experience by way of repeating the term. This personal testing has led us back to a starting question. Why am I going on about this precise pronunciation of the term Ahinsa? And the answer is power. That is, the power to recognize, confront, and transcend the personal imperfections that inhibit the experience of the divine, eternal soul. Now the personal test, which will help to experience the power of the precise pronunciation of Ahinsa. Recall that Sanskrit is subtly attuned to the unseen harmonies of the matrix of the cosmos. See how this term, Ahinsa, creates the feeling of non-harming. Compare and repeat Hinsa with the nasalization and pause and experience the subtle negativity. Hinsa. Now repeat Ahinsa and pause and experience how the negativity of Hinsa is neutralized by the subtle, gentle breath of The juxtaposition of opposite Sanskrit sounds that make up Ahinsa coincide with the dynamic nature of reality and creates an inner power of certainty in the non-harming nature of one's divine soul and the motivation to act in accordance with the soul's nature. Repeat Ahinsa, Ahinsa, Ahinsa. There is power in the term Ahinsa, and precise pronunciation permits access to the power. When you pronounce the term as Ahinsa, you are joining the tradition of the great Jain saints who have practiced Ahinsa, non-harming, and achieved the power of the soul's full potential. Living a life of Ahinsa is what made the saints great. Living a life of Ahinsa is what will make you great. Throughout my videos, the pronunciation will be Ahinsa. Namaste. I bow to your Ahinsa, non-harming soul as a reminder of your potential. If you have comments or questions, my contact details are on my website, www.appliedjainism.com.